Hello and welcome to another update video about ZILLIQA. Yeah, ZILLIQA, a beautiful example that that not all cryptos move together with Bitcoin, or at least not in the same type of wave, because ZILLIQA has broken out here out of this bullish pattern. Yeah, I showed you that in the last video. This descending broadening wedge, which, as I told you, is generally considered a bullish pattern, a potential bullish reversal pattern. So depending on how you draw it, you can draw it with the candles, with the wicks. You can draw it without the wicks, but overall, it can be argued that this here is a descending broadening wedge. So we had that retest exactly on that support level that I did put on the chart here in the last video, the 10-cent level, previous low, also psychological level. So we tested that, and after that we had a breakout from 10 cents to 13.5. That is quite a nice move for everybody who took a trade here, 33%. But of course, you wouldn't have bought down here. You probably would have, maybe you wouldn't have bought at all. Maybe you traded just a breakout here of the pattern with a retest and then up, whatever. Maybe you didn't do anything. Or maybe you just used my buy orders, and I still have my position open here for ZILLIQA that I started when I started to dollar cost average in, because I didn't have a foot in the door until very recently. I waited all the way until the peak is reached and then waited for the dip to get my first foot in the door here. And yeah, it worked out in the last video. Showed you that ZILLIQA looks generally stronger and more bullish than many other cryptos. Reasons for that also shown you in the last video. Descending broadening wedge reversal pattern. We had seen that the RSI was increasing, higher lows, higher highs, indicating the bulls are getting stronger. We had the golden cross here, and this in orange is the 50-day moving average, which crossed above the 200-day moving average. And also, very nice, I showed you as well this decrease in volume, and that we can expect here a breakout of the volume, and you saw the volume spike, right? So after the breakout, or after the retest of the 10-cent level, you then also saw the breakout above here, that resistance level on the volume chart. I could just to connect as many points as possible depending on how you draw it, but I think this is fair enough. Had various touch points here, and then we had a breakout, and that led to that spike, and that is often what I see, and that is what I told you over the Easter weekend, that we had that with many cryptos. We had here a decrease in volume, and then on the volume indicator, when you then break out, you see a spike. Was it sustainable? At the moment, not yet. Yes, we are making a higher low, but we broke back into this descending broadening wedge. But again, there are different ways of drawing it. You can also draw it like that and just use the candle bodies. And in that scenario, we are just retesting it. Yeah, we're just retesting it. And that is actually what, after a breakout, I'd be waiting for a retest of that pattern. And we see a beautiful one here. So we broke out, yeah, moved up very strongly, made one higher high, but we surpassed here 1, 2, or 3 previous highs. So we made that higher high. We're now coming down. The key is now that ZILLIQA needs to make a higher low, and we can draw the Fibonacci levels here, and we can see that we are currently, well, we came down quite a lot. We actually came down below the golden golden ratio, below the 61.8% Fib level. We're now retesting, of course, as you can see here very clearly, that wedge, and I think it is a valid retest, because you can see here we had a touch point here already and one here, and that's a bit lower, and that is in line with that descending trend line. So that makes sense. So I think now that we broke the 61.8, there is even potential to drop a little bit lower to 10.8. Here, the 78.6% Fib level, that would be the next support. But ideally, in case this is a valid retest and we want to continue bullish from here, it now needs to turn around. We need to see something like a bullish reversal candle, bullish engulfing, something like that. And that could then be the signal that we are starting to move up. As already said in the last video, the necessary to see some further movement up is at least a 50% Fib level. To break that, there's at 12.6 cents. But even better, and that is why I had that level on the chart here, is the 13.5 cent level. This is where we had also previous resistance, and this is the target, actually the target price. Oh, I just see that was actually reached, wasn't it? So we actually reached the target level of the breakout of that wedge, because as I say so many times, what is the target level for a breakout of a wedge? It is the beginning of the wedge, and the beginning of the wedge was here around 13.5 cents. So that was nice, yeah. Then we obviously found resistance, and then we came down. Pretty sure that is why I put that line here in the last video on the chart, probably because this was the target level where the wedge began. Perfectly, yeah, textbook-like breakout. And now that retest, but from here it now starts to move. If we break into the pattern again and maybe even lose the 10-cent level, then we're going to see further downside. Then we could come down to the 50-day moving average. Now it's hard to give you a specific number. Today that is at 8.8 cents, and that is moving up every day. And we've got the 200-day moving average down here. And together they are going to provide additional support. Yeah, they are a cluster of support here. And below that, we still have the 78.6% fib level. So there's various support levels here along the way. But I think it won't be easy to just break the 50 and the 200 day moving average. So from here, ZILLIQA already has a chance to turn around and start to move, because we can count this here as a first impulse, this here as a correction. The downtrend is slowing down. But yeah, to really continue the move up, we need to break above 13.5 cents. Yeah, and that is currently here my view about ZILLIQA. What is generally the price target for the next larger wave up? We looked at that in the previous video as well. We need to zoom out and take a look from a higher level point of view. And you can see here the longer term wave count, where we had here a larger wave 1. We are now in a wave 2, maybe already completed the wave 2. And the next wave up would be the wave 3. It could be possible that we have now, of that next wave 3, completed the first, because the wave 3 again consists of 5 waves. Could be that we have completed already the first wave, maybe already the second, and that the next wave would be that third wave. And if we draw just the fib levels, extensions, just to get an idea of where would actually that next wave be, next wave 3 go to at minimum. I mean the larger wave, yeah, the larger wave 3 of this wave degree here, like the wave 1, like the wave 2, the next wave 3 should at least go to 44 cents. That is the 1.618 Fibonacci extension. But normally they go higher, maybe 53 cents and maybe even 70 cents here, the 2.618 Fib extension. So yeah, that is my view about ZILLIQA. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.